Uh, we'll start off with an underground city that became an underground city for absolutely practical reasons. Coober Pedy is an opal mining town in central Australia. If you don't know anything about Central Australia, think about all the deserts in the Mad Max movies or any other post apocalyptic hellscape you can think of, and it's just like that. The other option could be, I don't know, like a bunch of people in bunkers or houses that are underground, where you get like so many of them together. It's almost like an underground city.
Oh.
Yeah. So after that buttery smooth segue, let's talk about underground cities. For the 60% of the 2,500 people that live in Coober Pedy, they live under 13 feet of rock and a pleasant 73 degrees Fahrenheit all year long. It is said that Coober Pedy is derived from the Kokatha language of the local indigenous people. The word Gubabidi
It's a good word.
means white man's holes. Yeah, so if you're a white guy in an Australian prison and an indigenous person says Gubabidi, just run.
Cover up. Yeah.
Just run.
Sit down.
Another cool thing about the town is that anytime someone wants to expand their home or a room, they just dig. It's like, our bedroom's too small.
Dig
So they'll just start digging. And so many of the houses have like these discarded piles of sands by their front door from when they've been expanding their home. So they'll sit there and dig, dump it out in the front yard, and they're done.
What if they dig into somebody else's house?
That is the downside, is that on occasion, people have accidentally dug into someone else's dugout home.
Oops, didn't mean to go into your living room.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, I didn't realize you were in the shower.
Or did I?
The risk, of that might be worth it because on a couple of occasions, people have come across valuable opals while renovating.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, imagine that. You're sitting there digging to renovate and expand your home or room. And then you find something that's worth enough to pay for your renovation to your home. It's like, oh yeah, what about, I found this opal. Cool. I'm going to get the granite countertops now, All right. We're going to move on to another desert town, Matmata, Tunisia. Matmata sits on the edge of the Sahara Desert, so like Coober Pedy, it is pretty damn hot. Just pretty damn hot. Now, much like the desert in Australia, the ground is sandstone. But rather than digging out hills and big rocks the way that they do in Coober Pedy, the Matmata people dig these large circular holes in the sandstone. So just a big round hole in the ground. Once they dig their pit, they use that as the courtyard of their house. And then they carve out rooms on the edge of the hole. So all around on the walls of the holes, that's where their their various rooms are. And then you have, essentially, the pit is like your yard.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever want to see what one of these look like, watch the original Star Wars. They shot the Tatooine moisture farm scenes in Matmata, Tunisia. The Luke Skywalker's home is actually a hotel called City Driss. So it's one of those actual underground dwellings. The reasons a lot of people left is they had a really, really bad flood in 1967. Oh. And living in a house that's made out of a big hole in the ground is not ideal in the event of a flood.
I can't imagine them having a big court.
It isn't just floods they have to worry about. There was a revolution in Tunisia in 2015, and tourists were some of their targets. That caused the tourism income stream to dry up a lot.
I would think so.
Yeah, you're not going to go somewhere where they're like, oh, they look at me as a potential target for violence. Yeah, I don't think I'll go there.
Nope.
If you were to drive through Ector, Texas, on Texas Highway 56, eventually you would find a large ornate fountain sitting all by itself in the middle of a pasture. The Four Horsemen Fountain marks the location that was meant to be the entrance to a place called Trident Lakes. The idea was not to build those concrete or metal boxes that preppers build in their backyards. This was, was meant for the elite. And, we all know that the elite obviously deserve better.
Of course.
Yeah. The $400 million project was for 850 condominiums ranging from 1,084 to 3,974 square feet that would be 90% underground and would house more than 3,000 residents. Now, furthermore, to also ensure their safety, the community would employ armed guards led by a former Navy SEAL.
Oh, okay.
Which you would have to have, because if you're building a safe place in a safe place for disaster situations, and you decide to put a giant tacky fountain in front of it, then all of the dirty poor people are going to know where this safe place is in these horrible situations, and they're going to try to bust in. Neighborhood plans included 3 blue lagoons, a 5-star spa, a gun range, an 18-hole golf course, an equestrian center, helipads, a learning campus, and a 15-foot security wall.
Oh, you mean they're going to build a wall to keep people out?
Well, yeah.
Unheard of.
Well, no, but these are dirty, dirty, poor people. You have to keep them out. Now, there's more to come. So they would also add a hotel because rich people wanted their
rich friends,
less fortunate rich friends to come visit. 4 miles of jogging trails, restaurants, and polo fields. Now, once they opened everything up for orders, they ended up with a waiting list of over 1,000 people. Now, if you remember, there were only going to be, 850 condos. I mean, and that was even after the initial, when they initially came up with this idea, it was going to be 400 condos. Well, once, they got all this interest, that's when they beefed it up to the 850.